Good morning, YouTube family. Martinez Country Home here. It's been a while. Made a video. Just so much going on. It seems something's happening every day. But want to wish all of y'all. Hope all of y'all had a great Thanksgiving with you and your families, and hope you had a safe holiday. The thing I wanted to talk about this morning, just right off the bat, real quick, is like 5 days ago there was a new strain of the CV19 called B11259, I believe, and it was identified from reading the Zero Hedge article. I'm sorry. Read that it was identified in Botswana, and then I guess it was sequenced in South Africa. So they've had cases in, I believe, Belgium, Israel, South Africa, and Hong Kong. I think it was Hong Kong. So here's the new variant, guys. I'm gonna be real brief because I don't want my channel getting another strike. And basically on YouTube you can't talk about anything, guys. You already know. So I'm just gonna keep it real brief. It's supposed to be, this variant is supposed to be a lot more contagious. It spreads faster. So I'll leave the link, the Zero Hedge article. They came out with two articles, and I'll leave both, guys, down in the description so y'all can read for yourselves. And you know, it's just one more thing they want us to worry about, one more thing to have on our minds, and with everything else going on. So I'm gonna leave it at that. They're already, of course, they're blaming the state of our economy on this health crisis. So well, actually, I'm wrong. They were blaming the economy on the health crisis, and now they're blaming climate change. So like I said, y'all are very educated, and y'all are well read. So I know I'm preaching to the choir here, guys, but just wanted to bring to your attention what's going on. So that, putting that aside, I went to I've been hitting a couple of stores like from midweek. I was off. On Tuesday was my last day at work, and hit a couple of stores. Nothing. It was no emergency. I just wanted to pick up a few things. I know I had told y'all about how one of the academies that I had gone to was basically half empty, and it was just very strange. I hadn't seen it like that. Well, I went to I want to say it was the day before Thanksgiving, on Wednesday, early in the before noon. There still wasn't a lot of people. I mean, it was kind of packed, but went into the store and to the Walmart, and this Walmart had already been little by little had been, you could tell they were consolidating the stock, right? Because there was a lot more room in there. The aisles were a little bit wider, and most of the things that I noticed were like where they have like home interior stuff, like maybe like beds and mattresses, things of that nature, desks, chairs, things like that. At least that was where I was seeing all the space, DVDs, stuff like that. Well, I went Wednesday, and there was a pretty large area that was wide open. It was maybe like, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell, maybe like 20 feet wide from the front aisle all the way to the back. just a clear, very clear space. And it just let me know that they're not getting all the product that they usually have, or they're just not getting it anymore. They're having a shortage and they're just not getting it anymore. The supply shortage that I see, at least where I see it, I mean, as far as the way I see it, it's been, you can isolate it to that. When I went to, like I said, when I went to that academy, and then this Walmart. The other academies that I've gone to look pretty stocked. The other Walmart, I mean, there's only like 2 Walmarts that I usually go to, if I go at all, because they have things that, they're the only place where I can get the things that, you know, those particular products. The other Walmart look pretty normal. The only thing about Walmart, guys, that I notice is their grocery, the grocery section is a lot smaller. Them, you can see kind of like shortages, especially in the canned meats. That's what I usually go to Walmart, is for that, for the canned meats. So my other grocery store, the normal grocery store that I go to, the big chain grocery store, which is H-E-B, it's been very rare that I see any shortages there. And also, I was going to tell y'all that I believe that maybe the reason why our grocery store, the H-E-B, has not been faced with shortages, at least this is just my opinion, is because we get a lot of, that grocery store gets a lot of their product from within the region, from here, from Texas. That might be a reason, I don't know, but I'm just throwing that out there. Now, regarding inflation, it's bad. It's very bad. Now, but it's bad with processed type foods, like frozen foods, like pizzas. Pizzas went up, like, they're ridiculous. They went up a lot. Even the cheaper brands like Tony's or Red Baron, they all went up. I mean, there's not one pizza that hasn't been affected by it, right? So anyway, basically, processed foods, frozen foods, chips, candy, stuff like that, just stuff that's packaged has gone up a lot. And also, I noticed that a lot of products of the big name products are either missing, or, you know, you just don't see them as often. And they're coming out with very weird sizes, right? Like sizes that normally you don't normally see. Sizes, the pricing is different. So that's how I guess they're hiding the inflation. They're changing the package size. Like, for example, they're selling a bag of, like, the honey barbecue Fritos, right? Or the chili cheese Fritos. Really, like, a really small bag, guys. Bags that probably back in the day was the normal bag that you would go into the store and get it. But it was like $3.49 or something, some ridiculous amount. I mean, I was like, wow, man, I just left it there. I mean, plus you're not getting not only are they cutting down on the size, but they're also cutting down on the flavoring. Now, I know these foods are not healthy. That's beside the point. Where I mean, it's very rare that we get them, but we do get them when, like, we like to eat sandwiches or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, we just like chips with that stuff, with our sandwiches or whatever. And so that's where I noticed the inflation, guys. It's in the processed foods. The processed foods, the canned goods, guys, I've noticed really no changes. It's all the same. they've been pretty normal. Prices have not gone up. Rice, bags of beans. If they have gone up, I couldn't tell you, because normally, actually, I think they did go up a little bit, but they go up like in like pennies, right? So I normally don't really notice if it went up like 8 cents. With that, for some reason, I've just never really looked at the prices. Only when the big, like the bags of rice, 25-pound bags, I know they're like $7.50, around that range. So as long as they stay in that $7 range, I know that that they're holding, the prices are holding. So when it comes to that with the inflation, guys, of course, we're all seeing it. And I know some places are worse than others. Regarding ammo here is plentiful, pretty plentiful. There's some rounds, like the 9mm Full Metal Jacket. From what I hear, they're stocked, but I mean, they're taken right away. And what is on the shelves is big quantities, like 500 tin cans of what we call the tuna cans, is those sardine cans of like 500 rounds. But you know, also what I have not been seeing lately is too much. I haven't seen too much birdshot for the shotguns. I like birdshot just to keep in practice, keep my gun in use. But other than that, most rounds are plentiful, at least so far. And if you're a gun owner, and right now is a good time to go and get your get ammo, because if they come out with some another lockdown, or like they did the last time, like a year and a half ago when this health crisis started, we're gonna go through another ammo shortage. It's gonna happen again, so you might want to stay on top of that. And really, guys, right now you gotta pick and choose what you wanna stock up on. But whatever it is, you gotta be stocking up on something, because either the price is gonna go up, or we will start seeing actual shortages. Or when people finally wake up, when they wake up en masse, and they start seeing shortages with their own eyes, or prices going up, they're gonna start dumping their money, their dollars, while their dollars buy something, and they're gonna be trying to buy up supplies. So let's go, buddy. You know what? I'm moving straight. I was gonna go on there in the highway, but I'm moving straight. Another thing, guys, that's very important that I want to talk about. There's countries like in Austria. I don't even know how much to say. Australia, the UK, Canada, where they have very strict health mandates, very tyrannical. The health officials basically took over, and they have the people like doing very badly. In particular, the one that was pretty shocking, and I don't know the details, is what's going on with the Aboriginals in Australia. From what they've been saying, they've been making an outcry for help. We're talking about how they're being coerced and threatened, forced to take the vitamins. that that I'm not gonna name. They're making basically an outcry to the world to help them because they're under attack. And as far as a response being officially sanctioned by a government, they're not gonna get no help like that, because this health crisis and the way that it's being handled is worldwide, and it's planned, it's coordinated, it's planned, and so they're not gonna get help from official channels, if you know what I'm saying. People are gonna have to. They're gonna have to get help from the private individuals. That's the best way I can say it. Because the governments of the world, guys, as you know, is they're all in on it. They're all in on this this operation that's going on against the world, psychological, and it's total war in a way that we've never seen war before. At least not out in the open. There's rumors of. I mean, it's not really even rumors. I mean, it's out in the officials are reporting on it that people who are not vaccinated will be taken to quarantine camps. And they want, I believe it's in Austria, where they want it's compulsory. And all these guys, I'm sure these things happen. These are like a couple of days old, 3 or 4 days old. I'm sorry, I'm just reporting on it, but I really wanted to see how this progresses. Always so much going on. I'm sure y'all have heard about this, but it's very important that we talk about these things with our friends and our family, because it's happening. For some people around the world, they're literally under attack, and and I try to put myself in their shoes. What if like, say they pick this city, because it seems to be they usually pick a region, right? They don't always pick like the whole country, or it's always, they seem to concentrate on either one section, one region, or one city, right? And I try to imagine what would happen if my city one day said, you know what, we're gonna, anybody that hasn't taken the vitamin, we're gonna make you, we're gonna look at our records or whatever way they would do it, however they would do it, to find out who hasn't taken the vitamin. And if you don't have it and you don't take it, you and your family will be taken to quarantine camps or something along those lines. I mean, what would people do? What are people gonna do? Are they gonna just stand there, or are they gonna? I mean, what would happen? How would people handle such an attack? And so I try to put myself with what they're going through, and there's a lot of those people, you could tell on their what are you gonna do, guy? Let's go, man. They're afraid, because they're basically being forced into some kind of health, some health, they're being forced into some kind of how would you call it, some procedure, right, that they don't want to take. They're being forced into it, And so they've seen other people, what happens to some people when this procedure is done to them, and they know that it's potentially harmful to them. It's potentially harmful. It might even be deadly. So, I think that it's very important that we keep this in mind and we keep our eyes open, because over there it didn't just really like creep up on them. Although, like, especially in Austria, I hadn't really heard anything about Austria like that as far as with band-aids until, like, all of a sudden, bam, they came out with it like all at one time. So they came out with it all at one time on them. I mean, they sprung it on them, and I don't know. I hadn't heard any build-up. I had heard about Australia, the UK, New Zealand. These things that are being done in Austria, I would have expected in Australia. That's where I thought that was going to happen first, in Australia, but it happened in Austria. So it could come out of nowhere, guys. These band-aids can just spring up all of a sudden, so you just got to be on your toes. So many things have come out since my last video. Just take care, guys. Y'all keep preparing. I think it's going to be very important. I do see now that I believe that we are going to have food shortages. It looks like to me. We're going to have food shortages. We're going to have the dollar's already losing value. It's going to lose a lot more. And the things that we're so used to buying, it's going to become very expensive, and you're going to start noticing your budgets. You don't have as much discretionary funds as you used to, and you're going to be like, well, why? What happens is that we're so used to buying food, like just regular, things that we run out of: milk, bread, stuff like that, just little basics. You're gonna notice that you're able to buy a lot less, or that you're just always short of money or something. That's what's gonna start happening. So right now that the prices are, I've said this over and over. I've told my family members, friends, coworkers. Some of them do heed and they're preparing, but most of them are not. I don't think they can comprehend that something like that would happen here in America. Honestly, I don't either. I don't either, but I can't see it happening, but I know that we're not immune. It could happen here, and I think it will happen here. I'm able to see through the veil that's been over my eyes, this normalcy bias. It can happen here, and it probably will happen here, guys. So just be prepared. It will be great if nothing happens. If we go through this storm passes us by, and we're able to go on with our lives. But this is a new system, guys. We're literally living through a new system, and it's been here. It's just being unleashed on us. It's been here. I mean, you've seen trademarks and copyrights and patents. They've been there all along. They've been preparing for this. Once the digital age came, they were able to do a lot more things than with just paper. When everything was paper or typewriter or whatever. So just keep on stocking, guys. So they're incrementally doing things, and especially with these new variants, I don't think they're gonna stop. They're gonna keep coming out. Sometime last week, of course, you heard about 5 to 11-year-olds are approved to take the vitamin, and now they're talking about that they want to do that for newborns. I mean, I believe people have lost their survival instinct, their sense of self-preservation. That's what I see. People have lost that. Their sense of that's the term I was looking for. They've lost their sense of self-preservation for themselves and their family. And when that happens, guys, it's almost like that's nature weeding out the weak. Because we're not just living in a time where you need your strength. Physical strength is important. It'll always be important, but we're also living in a time where you gotta use your mind. You gotta be able to analyze the information that you're seeing in front of your eyes. Some people just aren't doing it. They think, I don't know what they think. I mean, they're not getting the information and processing it in the right way to see that there's a very evil agenda being played out right in front of us. And we're human. Like the holidays and stuff, you want to enjoy the holidays with your family. I understand, we're human, but you got to put things in perspective. You gotta take the good with the bad. You gotta realize that, okay, we're living our lives as best we can, as normal as we can, but in the background, know that there is some shit going on that is evil, is anti-human, and y'all better get prepared. So anyway, guys, that's why I say y'all take care of each other, love each other out there, because that's what we're here for. God bless.